Coworkers and supervisors often shy away from workplace conflicts. This is not a good reaction, as conflict festers until it damages the workplace and a supervisor is forced to take action to fix a situation much worse than it needs to be. Here we present the styles of conflict resolution and the steps to take to effectively deal with workplace conflict. This is Diego, a new supervisor. He says, "I took over the leadership role for this group. They appear to have some conflicts affecting work. I'm not sure how to go about resolving it. I'm the supervisor, so I need to be involved to make the group run well. So I went to a class on conflict resolution. Did you know there's 5 styles of conflict resolution and 6 steps to implementing any of them? Let's look at the styles. It's competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, and accommodating. Each one has unique advantages and disadvantages. A good manager is aware of all 5 and uses them, even though they may have a preference for one. I'm going to ask my coworker Tina to help explain the different modes. Competing is where the manager makes a unilateral decision. On the plus side, it's quick, there's no debate, and settles hard to decide or unpopular decisions.
Competing can cause strained relationships, lower motivation, and create a situation where the conflict gets escalated.
Here, the supervisor makes a decision ending the conflict based on the short time frame the client expects. When people won't compromise, this is often used. One person makes the decision and the group moves on. It may work best where a decision is needed or conflict needs to stop immediately.
Collaborating, on the other hand, involves lots of team input. It can give high-quality decisions, people tend to be more committed to it, and it strengthens the team. It's a we outcome.
Collaborating takes the most time and energy of all the methods. Everyone contributes, but you run the risk of never getting people to agree. A group here has worked out the issues and come to a common solution. Everyone gets to put forward their viewpoint. Since everyone agrees, there must be a resolution, but they're not agreeing yet on what that is. Various solutions are developed and discussed whether they meet the goal in everyone's view, and then a common solution is agreed on and incorporates parts of everyone's contribution. Compromise involves coming to a solution that allows both sides to win. No one gets everything, but they see it as fair. It's fairly quick and easy.
Compromising leaves concerns that are partially satisfied that can flare up later. The solution is not always the best, and it is often based on superficial understanding.
Here the group has agreed to 2 important parts in order to get going again. A middle ground through discussion is arrived at that everyone can live with. It's easy to gain commitment from all parties since everyone contributed, and the solution is where everyone wins and everyone loses.
Avoiding is the 4th style, where the issue is simply put off until a resolution suggests itself. It's easy, quick, avoids stress, and gives time for everyone to set up a resolution.
Avoiding can be a problem. A conflict avoided is a conflict not solved. Since the conflict is not resolved, it can simmer in a group. Here, no one discusses a solution and the decision to toss it to human resources if the problem persists. Sometimes this is also a good approach if the conflict involves harassment, discrimination, or other legal issues. Avoiding is best used when resolving an issue is done best through other avenues. It avoids confrontation when the group is poor at confrontation, and that might lead to bigger issues in the original conflict. Accommodating is where one side gives into the other. It's also quick, restores harmony, and helps maintain perspective.
Accommodating doesn't really fix the original situation and can cause the person who surrenders to lose respect and motivation, especially when done too much.
One side here simply decides not to pursue their part and goes with the flow. One side allows the other to win simply by giving in. It's often used to make an active decision on letting go instead of going through another method. The issue may continue to fester though, and you end up resorting to another style to resolve it. There are 6 steps in resolving a problem using one of the prior modes. Sometimes a step might be very quickly done depending on the mode chosen. Let's look at them. First, agree on the disagreement. The goal of this step is to get both sides to agree on what the disagreement is. Discuss what needs are not being met on both sides of the conflict. Ensure mutual understanding. Continue to ask questions until you are certain that you and each side of the conflict understand the issue. Common goal. In this step of the process, both sides agree on the desired outcome of the conflict. Discuss what success looks like. Find out what's common in both sides as a starting point for a shared outcome. It can be as simple as both sides want to end the conflict. This step may vary depending on your conflict mode for resolution. Discuss ways to meet the goal. Both sides work together to discuss ways that they can meet the goal they agreed on in step 2. Brainstorm different options until no new options can be found. Identify barriers. Ask what would stop the parties involved from reaching their common goal. Make sure you identify what can and cannot be changed about the situation. Remember that one of the things you can change is how you react to what you can't change. That involves discussing ways to get around them. Agree on the best way. Both parties come to a conclusion on the best way to fix the conflict. Are you going to go for a solution both parties can live with, such as in collaborating, or are you going to go for a compromise? Determine who has responsibility on each side for maintaining their part of the solution. And finally, discuss how to ensure this conflict does not rise again. Commit to resolutions, assign responsibilities. Both sides need to acknowledge their role in the conflict, own their responsibility for their part of the solution. All sides need to say out loud, I agree to, and I acknowledge I have responsibility for statements. The conflict resolution techniques can be used by coworkers as long as they agree there's a conflict. It's not just for managers. To review, there's 5 styles to resolving conflict: competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, and accommodating.
Resolving a conflict involves 6 steps for most styles: agree, common goal, ways to meet goal, barriers, best way, and commit and assign.
Use all the styles, but follow the steps for a complete solution. Don't be afraid of all conflict. Conflict is inevitable because employees are different and spend lots of time together. Healthy conflict leads to new ideas and change.
Don't let conflict go unchecked. Unhealthy conflict needs immediate attention before morale and productivity are affected. Immediate attention can, however, lead to healthy change.
Don't be afraid of conflict, but do address any early on.
This is how to have a happy and productive workplace.
Thank you.